February 14th, 1929. St. Valentine's Day in the gang-fueled anarchy of Prohibition Chicago.
There are gratuitous episodes of extreme violence.
The man, crime boss Al Capone, is out to eliminate his longtime nemesis.
Capone?
In a moment of unparalleled violence, 7 men are about to taste Capone's vengeance.
With Capone, there's just only so much he'll take. Enough is enough.
Engineered for massive carnage, the machine is the Thompson submachine gun.
Gangland couldn't have asked for any better.
But fate throws a kink in Capone's perfect plan.
Which one of you bums is Moran?
In the history of man, there are critical chapters that forge together a daring individual, a crucial situation, and an innovative technology. Fate's fusion of man, moment, machine. On the morning of February 14th, 1929, Chicago police raided...
Torrio was in his 40s when Prohibition began, comparatively old for a Chicago gangster. So he had more foresight than any of them did at the time.
But there is tension and unrest, especially on the north side of town. Dean O'Banion is angry with Torrio for failing to rein in rival incursions onto O'Banion's turf.
That's it!
Dean O'Banion, like a lot of the gang leaders in Chicago, was a fairly volatile individual. The sort of guy where there was no backing up.
May 19th, 1924. O'Banion decides to teach Torrio a lesson by selling him his interest in a profitable brewery and then arranging for it to be raided by the police.
All right, hands against the wall. Come on.
During the raid, police find over 100,000 gallons of illegal beer.
Up against the wall.
As a first-time offender, O'Banion gets off. He knew he would. But Torrio has a prior prohibition violation, which means jail time for him. It doesn't take long for Torrio to realize he's been betrayed by O'Banion.
Once O'Banion sets Torrio up for this arrest and conviction, there's no going back at that point. I think Torrio recognizes that, look, you just cannot deal with a guy like this. John Torrio was no angel. He was very sort of diplomatic and full.
He's got plenty of enemies, but so do I. I gotta watch my back too.
Jaime Weiss was a hot-tempered Pole. He was the only...
O'Banion was more like a thug. He was a very handsome, devilish thug.
Weiss and Moran vow to avenge their boss's murder.
When O'Banion was murdered, Weiss and Moran not only lost a leader, they also lost a best friend. They viewed it as a personal loss, vindictive and relentless.
January 24th, 1925. Johnny Torrio is returning home from an afternoon of shopping with his wife. They have no idea that Weiss and Moran are waiting to pounce. Torrio lies helpless as Bugs Moran moves in. Only a miracle can save him now. Moran and Weiss leave Torrio barely alive with as many...
Stomach, who did have the ruthlessness to fight the North Siders on their own terms.
I'm quitting this. I'm giving you the business.
In 1917, at age 18, Capone gets a job at a Coney Island bar run by a local gangster.
Capone is very bright.
One day at the bar, he makes an obscene comment to an attractive customer named Lena Galluccio, who's there with her brother Frank.
Hey, honey. Nice caboose.
Frank Galluccio loses it, demands that I'll...
Compliment.
Capone's wounds will later give rise to his nickname.
We could do well to put this all behind us.
Years later, Capone will hire Galluccio as a bodyguard on a trip back to New York. In 1919, within a year of his marriage, Capone gets in serious trouble in a bar brawl when he beats a man with his bare fists and leaves him for dead. He needs to get out of New York and turns to Johnny Torrio for help. Torrio takes a special interest in Capone. He sees in him both a skill for organizing and a brutality that he himself does not possess.
I need somebody who's tough.
Torrio,
What they think is a routine gangland shooting. But at the scene, they're stunned by how much ammunition has been fired in the short attack. 50 rounds of .45 caliber pistol cartridges.
they thought that it was caused by a squad of riflemen.
Al Capone is impressed.
Hey, it's loaded. I know. Get out of here. Take these to the boys.
Here was a weapon that was incredibly portable.
Boss, you're not going to believe this. O'Donnell's just down the street.
When O'Donnell's car is spotted near his headquarters, Capone decides to take the Thompson on an outing.
Some witnesses said they...
Members of O'Donnell's gang are out drinking with a childhood friend.
Billy, how you doing?
I'm good, Jimmy. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Who's a rising star in the criminal courts.
Keep it out of trouble, huh?
Hey, you're out.
Here's to you. The men have no idea that Capone is about to personally unleash his wrath.
That's gonna be a good day with the ponies, you know.
One pistol shot is something that is survivable. You might be able to survive it depending on...
Miles takes cover and is unhurt in the attack, but 3 of his companions are mortally wounded, including 26-year-old Assistant State's Attorney.
Jaime Weiss was referred to as the only gangster Al Capone ever really feared.
September 20th, 1926. As he goes to the window to look, the real assault begins. Jaime Weiss and Bugs Moran lead a motorcade of up to 10 cars. Miraculously, Capone emerges unscathed.
When